And for now, joining us live for more is ANN 7 reporter Natasha Perry. Natasha, very good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Perhaps just start off by giving us clarity as to with regards to, as Burning Tlemeza pitched up for work, is he there?
Well, very good morning to you, Matapela, and the viewers. We've actually heard unconfirmed reports saying that he actually used the back door to actually come in. But as for us standing here by the main entrance, of which I'll just step out of the frame so you can see what we're actually seeing, he hasn't arrived as yet. But we do know that we actually standing with some DA members and Zakhele Mbele as well, who is the DA Shadow Minister of Police, and we do know that they're actually out here picketing, against the dismissed boss. Burning Tlemeza, somewhat preventing him and asking him not to actually return to work. We do know that he has vowed last week to return to work, and that was after the High Court's ruling that he may no longer hold his position as head of the Hawks. But let me just stop it right here and actually let's just speak to Zakhele. Zakhele, thank you so much for joining us on ANN 7. I mean, you guys are out here picketing that Burning Tlemeza shouldn't come back to work. Just tell us more about that.
Thank you very much and good morning. Yes, we're here picketing to demonstrate against the threat made by Burning Tlemeza last week that he would return to office this morning. This is in spite of the High Court ruling that set aside his appointment as invalid and found that he was unfit for office on the basis of having been found to be biased, dishonest and lacking integrity. Now, the Hawks are in a major leadership crisis. The leadership of the Hawks as an anti-corruption agency, the highest in the land, has to be beyond reproach. And we can't afford to have this crisis lingering on with Tlemeza occupying office and thus interfering and threatening the effective functioning of the Hawks. We need Police Minister Mbalula to take action, and he need not stand idly by, despite the fact that Tlemeza did file an appeal at the Supreme Court of Appeal. He can take steps to ensure that Tlemeza is suspended through a parliamentary process.
And okay, in terms of talking about that, I saw in reports you had indicated that Mbalula, the new police minister, should use their powers in terms of the SAPS Act and suspend Uchenon Tlemeza.
That's correct. So the SAPS Act provides that if the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Police initiates an inquiry into the fitness for office of the Hawks head, either on the ground of incompetence, incapacity or misconduct, that empowers the police minister to suspend the Hawks head in the meantime. And it's important that that step is initiated as soon as possible because we can't afford to have this crisis continue to fester, given the very clear-cut prima facie case against Burning Tlemeza that he is a threat to the integrity and the effectiveness of the Hawks.
And I mean, we saw that in reports, Ngidi had indicated that Tlemeza has a right to report for duty and that they'll have to deal with anybody who's stopping their client from exercising his rule of law. Your reaction?
Well, my reaction is that, that's a technicality. We're dealing here with much more substantive issues of leadership, of competence, of integrity, because we need to restore the public confidence in the Hawks and to contain the damage that has been done under Tlemeza's tenure. We'll still remember that it was the Hawks who were at the spearhead of the political witch hunt against the former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan, which has basically collapsed because there was no case in the first place. And so when you have the Hawks having been politicized and having been compromised in that way, we need to get to the root of the issue, which is the leadership of Burning Tlemeza, and to root that out through strong accountability.
And in terms of the picket today, I mean, how many people are expecting? Are these the only members of the DA that are actually going to be picketing outside? And what time will the picket somewhat end?
Yeah, so we've organized a small contingent of DA activists on purpose because we didn't want to create a disturbance in terms of access to the Hawks premises for the staff members who work here. But it's important that we're here to demonstrate and to be a voice and show up to let Burning Tlemeza know that this matter is not one we're going to let rest. that we're dealing with a matter of public interest, and so this crisis must be resolved.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. Let me not keep you. Let me actually somewhat interview the other activists. Baba, you were chanting here, Ntlemeza must go.
What we are actually here for is to send our message out there to let the people know that Ntlemeza has violated the constitution of the country. He's now in the office, has reported for duty, which the court have already indicated that he must not report for duty. He's not fit to hold that office. So already it shows that the other party, which is the ANC, is playing cards with us. So we are sending out the message that come 2019, together with the Hawks, they'll lose this country. We are tired of having criminals running this country. Thank you.
Do you think that your picket will somewhat make a difference to Ntlemeza?
Look, I think he's also looking, he's also watching the TV. And then he's seeing that we are so angry as a youth of this country, seeing anything, and then even the hands of justice getting tied by the people who have no interest in running the smooth governance of this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Matapalo, you've heard it here from Uzakele Mbele, the DA Shadow Minister of Police. You've also heard it from picketers here saying, which they are still going to demonstrate, making a statement rather that Ntlemeza must go as the Hawks are in a dire crisis. But let me just leave it here, cross back to you in studio. And of course, we promise we will give you the latest updates and developments in regards to the story.
Well, thank you so much for that update. Indeed, Natasha, we will definitely get back to you for the latest updates and developments.